kind. Rewind. This is Dope Nostalgia.
Welcome, friends, to the latest edition of the Dope Nostalgia podcast. I'm your host, Naomi, with big news and a lot of cool new changes coming up here. Now, in our episode today, our special guests are a classic Canadian 90s pop rock band called The Grapes of Wrath. So we're going to have them on the show very shortly. But before we do that, I have an announcement to make. We are brand new proud members of the 604 Podcast Network. 604 Records is a label here in Canada owned by Chad Kroger and Jonathan Simpkin. And I couldn't be more happy to just be a part of this network and see the ways it's going to grow this year. So there'll be big changes coming. Like right now, we're incorporating video more into the show. Right now, you're going to see this cool little wow graphic with the tape and the logo and everything. But over time, we're going to grow that out too. So you'll see today that their physical video will be of the interview on the show. It's going to be great. Before we get to that, we're going to have our special guest, Angelo, for another edition of Gen Z on the 90s.
Gen Z on the 90s.
Say what?
Hello, it's me.
It's working. Check it out. Okay, this is called what do we call this? Like a kitchen side chat with Angelo?
Kitchen side chat, BP's Chronicles, something like that.
Okay, so I have a podcast. It's called Dope Nostalgia. We talk about stuff from the 90s. I have a series of questions. I'd like to learn about what you know about the 90s.
Wow, I'm kind of scared, honestly.
No, this will be fun.
All right.
Just, do I have a table? What is a Game Boy? Thank you.
Game Boy is a gaming device that the kids used to play with back in the days.
Who makes it?
Nintendo.
Let's see, you know. What are Pogs?
Come again?
Pogs.
Pogs.
What are Pogs?
Not sure.
They were these discs, these cardboard discs that were collectibles that
Right.
had like different designs, like almost like parts. And then it was a game you'd play with like a slammer Pog. I don't know. I was too old. I didn't fucking play it. Okay. What is a blockbuster?
A blockbuster is like where they sell movies or like something like that, like a movie.
Yes. You're right. It's a movie store.
Bingo.
What is MSN Messenger?
MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure, but like if I had to guess, like I know Messenger like on your phone, like the calling device.
Yeah.
It's like a calling app.
MSN Messenger was a messenger for your computer.
Ah,
Yeah. So you could write instant messages to people. Before this was even before texting.
holy.
Okay. What is a floppy disk?
Floppy disk? Yo, it sounds familiar, like sounds something my mom knows, but I don't know this. A
That's
floppy
awesome.
disk?
Yeah.
Is it like a disc that you like burn like something else onto the disc, like to watch like movies?
No, that's a CD-ROM or a
Mhm.
CD or DVD. You could burn. Like, what does it mean to burn someone a CD?
Like to like put music onto it.
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me all about that. She's like, yeah, like I had my CD and she was ready.
You're actually really, really good at this. So you don't have to worry. I have a couple more questions for you.
Alrighty.
What is MySpace?
MySpace is like Facebook before Facebook, no?
Yeah, you're right.
Come on. I'm
It's
an old
social
head.
media. Old social media in the late 90s. Okay, here's some musical questions for you.
Perfect.
Okay. Who is TLC?
TLC is a R&B singing group. Come on. That's
You
too
want
easy.
something harder?
That's too easy.
Okay. Who is Shanice?
Hey, this one I do not know.
No?
I don't know this one.
Do you remember this song? Or have you heard the song I Love Your Smile?
I need
love
lyrics.
your smile. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. No?
Not familiar.
Okay. Who is Ricky Martin?
Ricky Martin? Ricky Martin wasn't that he's the rap artist, right? No, it's either okay. He's rap or R&B. He sounds familiar though. Like sing a song.
Upside, inside out.
One more.
She's
Give me
living
one
la
more. Give me one
vida
more.
loca. No.
Give me one more.
What's that? She bangs. I go crazy when she moves.
Nah, I don't know this one.
Okay.
I don't know. His name sounds familiar though. I can't lie.
Okay, we should do one more artist.
Alrighty.
One more artist. Casey and JoJo.
I don't know. Wow. Honestly, like, wow. I don't know.
They were in a group called Jodeci.
Jodeci? That sounds familiar.
Yeah, R&B singing group. Okay, I'll do one more. What do you know about Spice Girls?
Spice Girls, come on.
Yeah.
Spice Girls, I know Spice Girls. You gotta go Spice Girls.
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you feel about the questions today?
It was fun, and I enjoyed them.
I think we'll have to do this again in the future.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool.
All right.
We did it.
Wikipedia moment.
Please bear in mind that Wikipedia can be edited by anyone at any time. If I am reading you the artist's bio, then you know it's information straight from the source.
Today's Wikipedia is from the bio at grapesofwrath.ca. Any fan of Canadian music from the late 80s and early 90s is likely familiar with the multi-platinum selling band, the Grapes of Wrath. Their 60s-inspired pop rock was a constant on radio and much music, with hit singles such as All the Things I Wasn't, I Am Here, Peace of Mind, You May Be Right, What Was Going Through My Head, Backward Town, and more. In 2018, they were inducted into the Western Canada Music Hall of Fame. Brothers Tom and Chris Hooper met Kevin Kane in 1977 during their teens in Kelowna, British Columbia. Their first band was a punk combo called Kill Pigs, which played faster than the singer could sing. From there, Kane and the Hoopers went on separate musical paths. Kane to the art rock group Empty Sets, and the Hoopers forming the hardcore punk band Gentlemen of Horror. The Gentlemen were popular playing in and around Vancouver and released a now highly sought-after 7-inch single in 1980. During this time, Tom Hooper edited a local punk zine called Indecent Exposure, to which Kane and Chris Hooper contributed. In April of 1983, after putting together a one-off show as cover band Honda Civic, the trio decided to work together musically again. They began rehearsals in the Hooper family garage and gained enough confidence to open for acts in Seattle and Vancouver as the newly christened Grapes of Wrath from the classic movie of the same name. By raising money at flea markets and garage sales, the act recorded 4 songs with up-and-coming producer-engineer Greg Reilly in July and August 1984. Unbeknownst to the band, a cassette recording of the material was passed along to Terry McBride of the newly formed Network Records in Vancouver. This led to the band being signed and releasing the tracks as a self-titled EP in December 1984. The band played a farewell gig in their hometown Kelowna, packed up Tom's station wagon, and the Grapes of Wrath moved to Vancouver. In the late summer of '85, Network released the first album, September Bowl of Green, which dented college and alternative radio. Their first 2 videos, Misunderstanding and A Dream About You, were heavily rotated by Much Music. This attention led to several record contract offers, with the band ultimately signing a worldwide deal with Capitol EMI. They returned to the studio in May 1986 to remix Misunderstanding and Love Comes Around with Tom Cochrane. And now he's a fellow label mate and continued playing live, including a high-profile show at the 2nd Annual Independent Music Festival and Expo 86 in Vancouver. Tom Cochrane was sufficiently impressed enough to produce the band's sophomore effort, Treehouse, which was released in October '87, resulting in their first gold album for sales in Canada and yielding a minor hit with the single Peace of Mind and fan favorite Backward Town. The band embarked on an extensive 3-month, 69-date tour of the U.S. Ex-Pere Ubu and Lounge Lizard Golden Palomino drummer Anton Fear produced Now and Again in Woodstock, New York, where the band lived in isolation for the first half of 1989. They recorded in an old, haunted Catholic church called Dreamland Studios. Now and Again featured newly added keyboardist Vincent Jones. Jones had toured with the band during Treehouse and worked so well personally and musically that the band decided to add him permanently. Jones's contribution to the new album was augmented by legendary pedal steel player Sneaky Pete Kleino and keyboardist Chuck Leavell. Now and Again was the band's big breakthrough. Top 40 singles All the Things I Wasn't and What Was Going Through My Head received extensive video play and, along with Juno Award nominations, propelled the album to platinum status, and soon the band went from playing bars to theaters and touring Europe, opening for Lloyd Cole. The band recorded These Days from December 1990 to January 91 at Vancouver's Mushroom Studios. In February of 91, the band traveled to London and spent 3 weeks mixing at Abbey Road Studios. The album built on the success of Now and Again while spawning their biggest hit singles, I Am Here and You May Be Right, again selling platinum and allowing the band to tour Canada, the US, and Europe. Musical and personal differences brought about the band's demise in 1992 with the departure of Kevin Kane. The Grapes of Wrath's final show was Halloween '92 in Vancouver. But in the summer of 2010, after 18 years, the original founding members, Chris, Tom, and Kevin, joined together to play the Surrey, BC Fusion Festival. Due to the show's success, the band again began touring Canada and subsequently signed with Aporia Records to record a new album, High Road, recorded in the spring of 2012 with co-producer Daryl Newdorf, and it was released on March 19th, 2013. Now, things are amazing. The Grapes of Wrath together again, and they're going to talk about what they've been up to, what's coming, and I couldn't be happier to have these guys on the show today. Let's welcome Chris Hooper and Kevin Kane to Dope Nostalgia. Question. So I was going to say, welcome both of you, Chris and Kevin, from the Grapes of Wrath to Dope Nostalgia podcast.
Hi.
Thanks for having
All right. Now, you guys have played together for a long time with some breaks here and there.
49 years.
That is so incredible. Now, what brought the three of you back together as the original group? How did that happen?
Well, we were offered to do a gig in 2010 at a festival, and we just sort of said, I guess it's going to happen now, or it probably will never happen. So we just sort of did it, I think, as a one-off, I think was sort of the original intention. And then, yeah, we just went, oh, let's play some more shows. I think it was as simple as that, pretty much.
And who were your musical heroes growing up for both of you? I'll start with Kevin.
Well, a lot of Beatles mostly, but British invasion stuff like The Who and Kinks and Rolling Stones was big, and Simon and Garfunkel. Those were kind of the main ones until till we met in '77, and then soon after that we got into like a lot of the English punk stuff like Sex Pistols and Clash and the Jam, etc., etc.
Chris, were you on the same path?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's really how we really connected, because we were probably the only people in our school into that music and not really playing like Meatloaf every day. We'd probably rather be putting on a Pink Floyd or Kinks record or Beatles. And then when we met and started jamming, I remember Kevin would bring over like those fake books and music books. Like he had one of The Who, Tommy.
Yeah.
So we'd try to do the whole record, and just sort of smash away and try to figure it out.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun. We were kind of learning our instruments together and just sort of seeing what we could do.
Now, when I preface the episode, I let people know about the history of you guys getting together and everything, because that's a question you've probably been answering your entire career. I will do that in the episode. I do want to ask how you connected with Tom Cochrane. I know you both were signed to Capital EMI, but how did you end up working with him?
That was a Capitol's idea because Tom, I don't remember what album he had coming out, but he had an album coming out and he sort of had some time in his schedule, and I think he was interested in trying to produce a band. And Dean Cameron, who at the time was head of A&R and went on to be the president of the company, he was a drummer. He played with Tom, I think when they were teenagers. They did a couple of records together, and so yeah, he hooked it up.
And yeah, what a legend, obviously, to be working with that. Even at that time, he was pretty big still, wasn't he, at that time?
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't remember, was that before or after Boy Inside the Man came out? So he already had like Lunatic Fringe and
Mhm.
That was just before the Boy
just
Inside the
before.
Man record,
Yeah.
because then we went on tour with him on that record, right? Or no,
No, it was
Victory Day.
the
Victory
album.
Day.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
That's right. So that was just coming out, I think, the Boy Inside the Man then, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I was actually telling somebody the story the other day when we Capital, made the connection, and he's going to produce us. And I remember we went, huh, really? We're going to work with this old man? Like, this is kind of weird. And he was 32. But at the time, we just thought he was so old because, we were a lot younger and smart asses.
That's so funny.
I know.
He's like a Steve Martin of music.
Yeah.
Now, was there an effort to break you in the US from your record company as well?
Yeah, I think so. I I can't remember if September Bowl of Green came out in the States. I don't believe it did, but from Treehouse onward, our stuff all came out on Capitol. And on the Treehouse album, we did a pretty big tour of the US. We did 63 shows all in like one stretch. And then on the albums after that, we would go down for a couple of weeks, sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I mean, they did what they could do, I think, but I remember you run up against, they're like, well, we have our own bands here. You kind of run up against that.
Mhm.
I remember being told that point blank.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they don't want us. I mean, the same thing happened for us in England. In Europe, we got some great reviews over there, and we did a couple of tours of Europe, and they went really great. But they still looked at it like, yeah, well, you're competing with our own domestic signing.
That was the record label perspective? Now, what do you feel is the difference between a European crowd and a Canadian crowd?
do you ask this to everybody that's played in Europe? I feel like you know the answer.
Because, well, I just feel like,
It
well,
depends
I
on
know
the
for
country.
everybody it's different, but I mean, like, it depends on what kind of venue you're playing. For instance, if it's a music festival compared to a club.
It really depends on the country. I think it sounds sort of cliche, but the more north you are, like in Germany and Belgium and Holland, people are a bit more reserved. I mean, we went over really well, and they'd be nice and quiet during our songs and applaud and whatever. But as you get down to the south of France and then into Spain and Portugal, things got kind of bonkers. Like I remember we did one show in Spain, and people were building human pyramids as we were playing. It's just a different energy.
Well, and I think some nights we'd look out. That's when we were supporting Lloyd Cole on his first solo album. And we played some pretty big places, a few kind of indoor arena type venues. And there was people like singing along to our songs, and we're like, there's no way you know the words. But I don't know if they're pretending or making it up, but yeah, they were into it.
Actively learning the chorus as they.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Second time around, they knew it.
That's really cool, actually, though.
Yeah.
The songs are that catchy.
Yes. I know I personally discovered your music through the music videos on Much Music, the singles "What Was Going Through My Head," "I Am Here," "You May Be Right," etc. So that's where my discovery was. Now, how did you establish your solid relationship with Much Music?
I
Wow.
think it has something to do with we were early in the door. I guess in '85 we serviced a video to them, and they needed Canadian content, and we'd made this video for like $600 for a song off our first EP, and they played it. And the first time we went out on tour, we went to their first studio, which was just an office.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't what it became later, and it was just kind of like an office with a couple of cameras set up on one side.
That's right. I seem to remembered being just jammed into a little room to do
Yeah.
an interview.
Yeah, that was with Erica, and so that was early days for sure. That was before they had any real kind of programming in mind. Like later on they'd have their specialty shows and whatnot, but back then I remember they'd go from a Waylon Jennings video to Platinum Blonde to Tom Waits to Megadeth. It was just all over the place.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It was absolute just timing because it was early days and there just wasn't much to show. You're totally right.
You got to perform there in the Much environment a few times.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it's very exciting to know that in 2018 you were inducted into the Western Canadian Music Hall of Fame. How was that ceremony for you?
We weren't there.
You weren't there. Okay.
We had a gig.
No, didn't we play that gig at the
Gig, but the actual induction happened on like a Sunday morning or Saturday morning or something like that, and we were playing the Nelson, so we missed the induction.
Well, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, but we played a show.
we played though that weekend, but
Yeah.
Been far too long. You know I've never been a friend. You can't see a thing. The more I try to let you know. So don't ask what's wrong. I'll tell you all the same things again. I'll tell you all the same things again. I'll tell you all the same things again. You may be right. I don't wanna see you tonight. So don't call back. I'll probably never see you again. Don't ask what's wrong. I try to make you understand. I'll tell you all over again. Tomorrow than nothing then.
At one point, the band became Ginger.
yeah, me and Tom. Yeah.
You and Tom. And I know also you established a strong relationship with Sarah McLachlan. Did she worked on that album with you guys?
Well, we met her really early on. She was signed to Network as well, and she came out on tour with us in the early days of the Grapes. Like not the early days, but late '80s,
It was the
'88, I think.
yeah, but I'm trying to remember what album we were touring. It was Now and Again.
Now and
And
again.
we did a coast to coast tour, and Sarah and her band were the openers on that.
Do you still keep in touch with her, and have you worked with her in recent years? Yeah.
I saw her play a while ago, but yeah, our old keyboard player does play with her though, so there's
Is that
still that connection.
awesome?
Yeah.
Now, for each of you, I'm going to ask this question. What album track did you wish would have been a single
Wow. Off any record?
off any record? Yeah. I like to play clips of these songs on the show for people.
Yeah. Boy, that's a good one.
Take your time to think about it. It's kind of
Okay.
yeah.
I know my answer. I thought Away off of These Days would have been an interesting single, and would have made for an interesting video. Yeah. And Special Day probably. There, I'm giving two answers.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Hey, you
That's
took
fair.
mine. I think I was going to say Special Day or. I don't know. I think I think most of them that were singles should have been or were. I mean, I don't know. Trying to think.
That's cool. I'll play.
You can't release everything as a single.
You can't. You have to make these decisions. Record companies make these decisions.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a song you really believe in, and you want the fans to see it, hear it, to see the light of day, right?
Well, and the other times they release something and you're like, really? Like there definitely was one situation where we were really stunned that they picked a song as a single, but I guess they were right. So
Yeah. All the things I wasn't.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
just like wow, bad mistake, guys. You blew it. That is
We
never
shot two
going to get.
videos.
It's never going to get played.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We 2 videos in the same weekend because we thought we're going to need a follow-up video right away because this is going to just sink.
Wow.
Yeah. So they were right on that one. I mean, we loved the song. We knew it was a great song, but we thought not as a single in a video.
You wonder what makes them the expert, like to know what's going to fly. Like,
I think a lot of it's guessing.
Yeah, they're not the expert. Nobody's the expert, but I think it was luck because they went, this is different than anything you guys have done or than anything else. I think it was different than anything else they were pushing at the time. That probably made a bigger difference because a lot of music at that time had synthesizers and drum machines and whatever. There was a certain aesthetic that kind of sidestepped.
there's no real science to it.
No, it's just like the stock market, unless of course you have the inside word on something, but
Yeah.
matter.
Do you each have a favorite music video to make? Or was making music videos, not everyone loves it. It's a lot of work.
Some are fun, some weren't. I mean, I think I enjoyed I Am Here.
Yeah.
Just, it was filmed over 2 days around Toronto area, like in the outskirts. And I don't know, it was enjoyable.
Nice.
I like all the things because it was definitely the most painless. It's just one shot. We would just set up in our each individual fake room, and the camera went around on a dolly. Okay, let's try another take. Camera went around on a dolly. Then there was no editing. Editing was very often the most tedious process, and in this case, none of that happened. So
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Yep.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. It has been such an experience doing this show for the last 5+ years, but it gets expensive. If you didn't know, there's a lot of costs that go into making a podcast. That's why we have our Patreon page, patreon.com/dope nostalgia. That's where you can go and subscribe, get all the extra details, bonus videos, and early podcast release for as little as $1 a month. Please subscribe today and help support one of your favorite podcasts.
Hey, everybody, I'm Rick Campanelli, and you're listening to the Dope Nostalgia Podcast.
Hello there. I am Jonathan Simpkin. I'm the president of 604 Records. I'm here to welcome you to my new podcast, I Hate Simpkin. It's not really about hatred of Simpkin, though. That's what my life's about, but that's not what the podcast is about. I think if you watch it, you're going to learn some pretty interesting things about what goes on behind the scenes in the music business, how it works, and by that I mean how it really works, how it works when you're behind the scenes. And not just things like how do you make a hit, but even all the petty kind of stuff. Who was fighting with who? Why were they fighting? Something about being with my wife and running into him. I just saw red, and we actually got into a fist fight. So you're going to hear all sorts of weirdo gossip spoken by a bunch of old in the music business like me. I'm going to have guests like Mike Kruger from Nickelback, Michael McCarty, Jody Ferniehow, and if you like what you hear, and I know you're going to, you should hit the subscribe button. It's going to be all sorts of crazy week after week.
You do not want plaque in a new mouth, because a plaque mouth is a lonely mouth. Introducing new close-up anti-plaque formula. New close-up anti-plaque formula is a toothpaste and plaque rinse in one for a cleaner, fresher, healthy mouth. Hate plaque. Fight plaque. Get new anti-plaque close-up. For a new mouth, a close-up mouth.
Now, tell me about Kelowna and the music scene there as well. When you're in Kelowna, what places do you recommend that someone would visit?
Boy. Well, I mean, when we started and played here, obviously there was nothing. There was nowhere to play. We'd have to rent our own. We'd rent a hall out or something and hope a few 10 friends would show up and have, token admission that nobody would pay. And we just wanted to play. And now there actually is venues. I mean, the city's a lot different now, of course. It's way bigger. But, there's places like the Revelry. I can never say it, but it's a good venue.
Yeah.
It's a good live venue. And so, we wouldn't never have dreamed back then that something like that would exist.
Kevin, are you from Kelowna as well?
Yeah, I'm from there. Yeah, Chris lives there now, but I do not.
And is Tom in Kelowna too?
No, he's on Salt Spring.
Right across the country.
Yeah, we got it covered.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite places to play in this country?
Jeez.
We just played the Commodore a couple of weekends ago in Vancouver, and that was really, really fun. We hadn't done a headline show there in, well,
Forever.
so yeah, it was, that was really fun. I'm trying to think of other fun rooms.
Yeah.
The concert hall in Toronto was always fun.
Well, things like the Jack Singer Theater in Calgary when that tour in 92 or 91, we played some really cool places on that tour. I don't know. I mean, for me, I like doing those festivals, like those Canada Day festivals.
Mm.
Those were always highlights.
The toy in Quebec City, it was an old church that had been
Yeah,
or that was
that's
really
a cool place. Yeah, that's just so many
a Cornerstone in
in Newfoundland.
St. John's. Yeah, that was again another old church, and that was really cool. I really like playing old churches.
Yeah.
Whether it's acoustic shows. Like a lot of it depends on the room. Like if you get an old church and you ram it with people, then a rock band can play there, and otherwise it can be a little echoey.
I was going to say the bodies will like absorb some of the sound so it's not all over the place.
Yeah, you need a lot of meat in there to absorb the sound.
But yeah, an acoustic show would be amazing. Yeah. Any memorable Edmonton moments? As I stated to Kevin earlier, I'm from Edmonton. So
We used to play a lot. A lot. We played a lot in Alberta back on our albums. Really well in Alberta and Ontario. So we
yeah.
played a lot in Edmonton. Yeah, just I don't know, every venue that was there, we played it.
Dinwoody's, that was good. That was the first time
Right.
it had a show that was being scalped. People were selling tickets for double face value outside the show. So it was like, oh,
Yeah, we've made it.
it's the line. Exactly.
Yeah, we're there. We've arrived.
And Tom and I just played an acoustic show in Edmonton last month, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the venue was. They usually do rock shows, but we did an acoustic show there, and it was really fun. It was fantastic. Like when you play a rock room, and you're going to be really quiet, you kind of go, "How's this going to go?" But it worked out.
Was it Starlight Room?
Starlight, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
You think
It's
there might
weird
be people
venue.
yelling.
Yeah, but it was pin drop quiet. I actually had them turn the air conditioner off because it was too noisy for me.
Was it Edmonton that time we played that when we did the 2 Canada Day shows in one day? And
Yeah,
the
played a
Edmonton-
stadium.
we played at the football stadium. Joan Jett, I think, was headlining. And who else was on the bill? Barney Bentall, a few people. Anyway, the weather was horrible. I don't know what they were thinking. It was a stadium and 100 people showed up. I don't know. It was insane. That
felt
was,
like-
that was
And we just missed Joan Jett. I remember
Yeah.
earlier in the day we played. There was this cross Canada Much Music thing, and Spinal Tap were the headliners, and they were going to play 4 time zones or something. I think that
Right.
was the gimmick. So they did St. John's, they did something in Ontario, something middle of Canada, and then they finished in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So we had to play early in the day in Vancouver and then jump on a plane and get to Edmonton. So we missed seeing Spinal Tap, and we also missed seeing Joan Jett.
Yeah.
A sad day.
for everyone.
What I think I remember this day. Like I think I remember this concept.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
had that been like 93 or something?
No, it was like 90 or 91.
Way back.
I'm going to say 91, Canada Day.
Yeah.
92.
And was it 92? Okay.
Was that Canada 125 that year?
Well,
Might have been.
let's figure it out.
I think that's about right because we
Sounds right to me.
Yeah. 2 years before that, we did a Canada Day show, and Tragically Hip were on the bill. And I remember Gord said, he came out at the start and said, "I'm 123 years old." And then he took his boots off and lit them on fire.
because that's what you do
Yeah.
when you're 123.
No doubt. Well, those are some amazing memories. I like to get into some silly questions with you guys too. Keep it
Okay.
lighthearted. For each of you, did either of you sign up for Columbia House 12
Oh,
CDs or whether
no.
sets, whatever? For
No. We sold our records through it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the record company saying, "You guys are selling a lot through that Columbia House thing." And we're like, I guess that's good. They're a penny.
I think it was
No, I think they had a reduced royalty, so they were happy.
So it's not really good for the artist. I was always wondering how that worked.
No, I don't know. It was good for anybody because wasn't it you'd buy what you want, you'd sort of pay a penny a record, or it was the weirdest. I don't know how it worked.
Well, they treated the records as promos or something like that. It was definitely shady, so the artist wasn't getting paid. But I joined Columbia House and I got a lot of really great CDs. In fact, one of my favorite CDs, it was a Hobeam box set, and each CD was like this origami paper folding thing that would hold the CD in. So, and I've never seen it in stores, so I guess that was it. They'd use Columbia House to clear stuff out that hadn't sold well.
Yeah.
So that they also press their own versions of
That's
things.
right.
Quality
Okay.
level might have been lower.
Well, I'm sure some corners were cut,
Yeah.
and I don't mean delete. I mean, yeah, they probably did as cheap as they could, right?
Yeah. Such a scam.
That'd be an interesting documentary.
I wonder if anyone's done it yet. That's
I
a great
know.
idea.
There was a way to get music cheaper. I mean, like people say, "Oh, well, then you have to buy a certain number of records a month." Well, so what? I was going to buy records anyway. There's always something to get. There's always something worth getting.
But you know what? I know people that did it. I'm not joking. I was talking about this with somebody a few weeks ago, and they said, yeah, they never paid ever. And they just kept ordering and they go, yeah, I never paid. I don't.
You make up a new name and start a new account.
That's what you did. Okay.
But it's interesting. Once in a blue moon, I hear somebody say, yeah, I actually fulfilled my membership requirement. Because then you had to buy like 3 at regular price.
I did.
Some people, I guess.
Yeah.
I
It's
did
like,
not want Columbia House on my back.
no.
Yeah.
Did you guys play video games?
Not much. On the tour bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'd be like Sega hockey going and things like that. But for us, that was the extent of it for me. And I didn't even play that very often.
It kind of predated video games being a thing because I guess when we were teenagers, that's when, like the first Atari 2600 came out. And it was crap. Like it gives you a headache to look at it, and all the sounds were terrible. But when we were kids, video arcades were a thing, and that's where all the bad kids would hang out. And all the video machines would have like cigarette burns all over them, and there'd be kids begging for quarters.
Yeah, that's right. We went there a lot. There was a couple in Kelowna that we'd frequent now and then.
One at the Capri Shopping Center, and it was paid, and it was super dark, and all the video consoles, all the machines were off-brand. Like instead of Big Bug, it would be Doug Bug, and they'd all have slightly different names.
There's nothing good going down at the arcade.
I think that because I remember playing Donkey Kong in there, and like it was probably called Conky Dong or something. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, they all had the names slightly off.
That's something I want to Google now.
Yeah.
Where were these things coming from? What were your favorite 90s magazines that you like to read?
All the music ones from England. I like those ones, NME and Sounds.
Yeah, Q was great. I think Mojo were around then. That's when they started. I think that was a really good one. Uncut. Yeah, those are the 3 best from England, I think.
And those are the ones you couldn't just pick up at the 7-Eleven or Mac store. You had to actually like go to like Kohl's Books or Smith Books or whatever to
Store or Indigo or something, yeah.
To get the good ones.
I think we get them at the record stores, right?
Yeah.
I think I recall HMV having that.
Yeah, they had a good magazine rack at HMV.
I actually, well, during towards the demise of HMV, I did like what they were trying to do because they were definitely focused more on merch.
Yeah, it became a shirt store, really, didn't it?
Yeah. Some box sets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were trying.
Vinyl too. Very expensive vinyl.
Yeah,
Do either of you collect vinyl?
not anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of my collection for the most part. I mean, I've still got a couple hundred records, 250, but at one point I had, I think,
Yeah,
2 and 3,000.
yeah, it's same with me. I'd probably have that few hundred left and narrowed it down, and I want to get rid of them.
Space.
Well, yeah, space and you know the convenience. It's so easy to listen to stuff on your phone. You know, sorry, but convenience matters.
Yeah, it's always the deciding factor in a lot of things, isn't it? It really is. I always think too, the longer this stuff sits, this is how I sometimes look at things. Maybe it's not exactly the most positive way, but I go, if it's sitting around, something's going to happen. There's going to be a flood or a fire, and they're all going to be gone. So maybe I'll just get rid of them before that happens.
Good point.
Yeah,
You gotta
I don't know if that's a good point, but I'm trying to be practical about it.
No, it is a good point though.
Yeah, make myself feel better when they're gone.
Find you too that records you had that
Yeah.
That site Discogs. A lot of people are making good money on that site.
Yeah, I've sold quite a bit on there.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy the whole process. It's just sort of a lot of hassle, but
Yeah.
there's not a lot of ways to do it. But yeah, definitely sold a few on there that were worthwhile.
Do you either of you have a favorite like vacation spot, place to go relax when you're off tour?
Kevin?
I don't really go anywhere anymore. My wife and I used to go for vacations every year, and I think one of our favorite places, if not favorite, was Marrakesh and Essaouira in Morocco. But these days, you know, we're out in Nova Scotia, so we're planning a trip to the city in a couple of weeks.
Hi.
No, it's different. We have a dog now too, so going away for a couple of weeks isn't the same thing. And I really like Buenos Aires. I thought that was a great trip. But Chris traveled.
That's a great city. Yeah. How
Chris
great
is like
Buenos Aires is.
traveling half the year, so he's the better person to ask about where to go.
Yeah.
I like being home in the summer. I don't go anywhere in the summer. I enjoy it. And then, yeah, I really like Southeast Asia, and those countries around there are probably some of the favorites.
Yeah, because when you're a musician on tour, a lot of the times you're in these places, but you don't actually get to see these places, right?
Exactly. I would say that about the first time. Well, on almost the second tour we did of Europe. Well, no, I went to all these places in Europe and didn't see any of them. Just saw the inside of a tour bus and then a gig and the occasional hotel room. Yeah, maybe it was a missed opportunity, but you know, we were young. We didn't know.
I think I was the odd one out because in Europe I would make sure to get like I got up while everybody was still asleep on the bus, and I would find out the night before. Okay, when do you need me? Is there an interview I need to do? Okay, great. Then I would take off for the day, and then I'd come back in time for sound check. So I don't know what places I should have been, but I do remember wandering a lot in cities in France and in Switzerland and stuff. Just a lot of unguided wandering. I had no idea where I should go, but at least,
It's true. If any of us got out, that's pretty much what we did. We just kept
Yeah.
walking. But I remember a lot of days filled though with interviews, and I remember that. Maybe it was one tour or the other, but sometimes it was just morning till night. We didn't stop.
Yeah, occasionally there'd be a press day where
Isn't it nicer having it all on one day than spread out throughout the week?
Definitely.
yeah, I mean it can be, but you end up being pretty burnt out at the end of it. That's what I remember. At the end of it, you're just like, Well, I mean, whatever. It's like a big problem having people who actually, want to ask questions, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say the last person to interview you is not going to have as great of a time as the first, I suppose.
Well,
Right?
Yeah, right. He could
Hmm.
see the waning interest at that point, I guess.
Yeah, the fatigue of it all.
Yeah.
What's a favorite recording studio you've worked in?
Hmm. Mushroom was always great in Vancouver. We spent a lot of time there. And of course, Abbey Road.
Wow.
Yeah. For me, I'd say those two.
Tell me about the Abbey Road experience.
Pretty cool. Pretty amazing. We kind of had free run of it. Our producer had spent his career there almost. So yeah, it was great. There's just so many great stories and we really enjoyed it and got to hang out in the Beatles studio. We recorded in the studio that, Pink Floyd used and it was great. We stayed right next door. They have apartments that they own next door.
Perfect.
We would walk out the door, sidewalk, the famous sidewalk was right out our door, and then we'd go next door and go in, and it was great. Really good experience.
Kevin?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, Abbey Road is great because it was great to be in London and stuff, and great to hear about the history. And John Leckie, he started working there, I think, when he was a teenager. A-pop. I think his first session, he said, was with Procol Harum, and then he, so he knew a lot of the history and just walking around the area and telling us about, the stories of working with McCartney and all the different bands he worked with. So that was neat. But I'm trying to think if I've been to a studio where, like for me, when we did Now and Again, we recorded initially in an old church called Dreamland. It was just off in the country in a church that had been converted to a studio. And then we did overdubs in Carla Bley's basement. She had a studio in her house and she's like, jazz composer. And I really like that because I like the hominess of it. It was, small and one whole wall of the studio was all glass looking out on the forest.
That's cool.
So that was a really nice vibe. It didn't, when you're in the city, it's a whole other energy, but that was pretty unique from all the studios that we worked in.
I feel like that would just be conducive to just a better feel.
Well, less distractions. And I think that was the idea too, is, we were young men at the time, like early 20s. So it's like, let's get these guys out of the city where they can do less damage. Didn't exactly work, but
Absolutely didn't work.
yeah.
Were you guys wild when you were young?
Wilder.
I mean, we weren't the wildest compared to other bands, but we start telling stories. People are a little bit surprised. It's like, really, you did that? You guys wrecked cars? It's like, well, not on purpose.
Yeah, that record, 2 cars were destroyed. But you're right, it wasn't on purpose. But I think a few other things were destroyed. But yeah, I mean, we weren't Motley Crue or anything.
No, that's light for
We
rock
weren't
star life.
we weren't looking to destroy things.
No,
but
exactly. That's the difference.
yeah.
I had an image of you guys as very well behaved.
Most part, maybe.
Ish.
What goals lie ahead for the band?
I don't know. Keep playing shows like good shows, I mean, I almost hate saying this. It's so cliche, but that last show, I mean, we hadn't played that good in ages. And I know everybody says that. This is our best record we ever did. We're playing better than we ever did, but it was really good. It all clicked.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
How it feels. And so July in BC, September in Ladner, BC, and October you've got Quebec and Ontario. So everyone come out and see the guys. Gonna be great shows.
For sure. Come say hi.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get back to Edmonton next year. We're looking, like for the band, festivals kind of make the most sense. And so we hope to be out there next summer.
I'd love to come see you.
all.
Please, definitely come out.
That would be wonderful. Thank you guys. Your time's so valuable. I just really appreciate that you did the show with me today. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for inviting us.
I know, Kev.
sun seems to beg to be enjoyed. It's time to pass the buck. Miss and hit, double up fit after fit, till I can catch my breath. And I found it's a very special day when we make the magic crowd. Make your way through a scary shimmer town. It's a very special day. Push along.
You can follow Dope Nostalgia on Instagram at dope_nostalgia and YouTube at Dope Nostalgia Podcast. Call and leave a message on our voicemail toll free. The number's 1-888-741-9192.
This podcast is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work. Hey friends. I kind of miss getting those messages on my answering machine like we used to back in the day. What I'd really love is to hear from you, the listeners of Dope Nostalgia. This is your chance to be on the show, giving feedback, telling us what you love, what you hate, and who you'd like to see more of. Call us at our new toll-free number, 1-888-741-9192. Leave us some feedback. Your message could be played on the show. So give us a call, 1-888-741-9192. Toll free.